Welcome back, everybody, to the Creative Rise podcast. Another fun episode that's going to be a little different. So stoked you are here. Last episode, if you listened to it, Joey was basically asking me a bunch of questions. I had no idea what he was going to be asking. And he asked me a ton of questions about building a wedding business, but then also building a brand business in the six-figure space. And now I am turning the tables, but in a little bit of a different way. So Joey has no idea what's coming. It's going to be super fun. But quick update, our 6-week mastermind is off to the races. We are in week 2 of the 6 weeks. And so we've been going through all of our coaching calls with our pods, which are basically like the accountability groups that we set them up into. And those have been so much fun, helping people gain clarity around what they're offering, clarity on how they're moving forward in their marketing, and just clarity on how to build a 6-figure business, which is so, so exciting. This crew is amazing. We've got people from 7 different countries.
7 countries.
Lots
Crazy.
of accents.
Costa Rica, Australia, Canada, the U.S., France, Austria, England.
So cool.
So cool.
So
This
cool.
is our biggest international round we've ever had. We always have internationals, but this international this round, it's like every time someone goes to speak and unmutes himself on Zoom, everyone's like
Yes.
what accent do you have? You
What
know,
accent?
it's like
It'd be
they're all
so
trying to
cool.
figure it
They're
out.
so stoked.
It's so good. It's like a battle of the accents, and the
Yeah.
Canadians and Americans are just totally left out.
It's true.
we
Although
just have
people from
lame-
Alabama have some of the best accents, though. I do have to say
There's
that.
some Southerners in this round of the mastermind that
just
have
like
great accents. That is true.
smooth,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
good. But we've got some cool wins from this community that we want to share with you because these are encouraging. Because you know at Creative Rise, we love helping people break the creative struggle and succeed. And already we have people in this round crushing some awesome goals.
Yeah. So it's only been like 7 days, and it's like, oh, here, I'm already ringing the bell. I just sold a $4,800 package yesterday. That was Gabriella. So cool. Scrolling over here. Justice is like, just sold a $5,000 package.
So
like,
cool.
so epic. Just received a $1,000 headshot retouching thing. Giles, this one's hilarious. 3 to 10 shoots at $3 to $5K each over the course of this year. I'm going to be shooting environmentally themed conservation videos around grizzly bears. This dude just locked in a deal.
Isn't that so good?
Shout out to Giles. Giles just locked in a deal to literally fly around in helicopters and shoot grizzly bear conservation stuff.
With a camera. Let me just clarify. With a camera.
Yes, not shooting with a gun.
With a camera.
But like, there's so many crazy wins.
Yeah.
Just closed. Noah's like, hey, I just closed a 6K logo design, web design, and some added photo. I just closed a 6K package for all that stuff for a local business. He's super excited about that. Just got a 4K project closed. That's right. It's like so many things.
Yeah.
So many
Really,
things.
really
So
cool.
many big wins already, which is so exciting. So we are fired up. This is a phenomenal group. 37 businesses, 38 people, because
Yeah.
we got one team. Just an epic group of people. And like I said, 7 countries, 38 people, 37 businesses, and it's game on. It's going to be an epic 6 weeks. Week 2 is already off to a great start. So, yeah.
This episode that we're about to dive into is kind of a little bit related. It was stemmed from the idea of going through a lot of these coaching calls, helping people narrow down their offers, help them, even people that are kind of just getting started or maybe completely pivoting their business, looking at like, hey, if I look at the world right now, what do people need? How could I build a solid 6-figure business in this climate? And so I thought, Joey, that we would have a little hot seat questionnaire for you where here's my first question, and this is where the podcast is going. Joey doesn't know this. If everything was stripped away from you, okay? You had no past business, you have your knowledge, but none of like your past client base, anything like that. What business would you start right now in February of 2023? What business would you start in order to scale quickly to 6 figures? What would it be? You're allowed to have like a laptop. You're allowed to have me as your support system.
I'm not on an island.
You're not on an island with no clientele. You're
Okay.
here in the normal
Okay,
spot.
so I've got to build a business that's 6 figures, and this is a funny conversation because we have been doing this with so many people. Like one of our favorite parts of the mastermind is automatically as soon as people get in, we audit their offers because a lot of people are like, hey, I want to make 6 figures, or they're like, I'm at 90K. I know this year is going to be a 6-figure year, but I want to go to 150 this year. But their offers aren't actually aligned with like the growth they want, right? They're trying to sell the wrong thing for the growth they're expecting. So we've been having a ton of these conversations. So if I had to build a 6-figure business from scratch today, stripping everything away, clients, everything away from me, but I had my knowledge, I would build a recurring service-based business where I probably help people follow the money, right? All the money's going to short form video. I'd probably help people master and really take advantage of the opportunity of short form video right now and how that can drive a ton of lead generation for them. So I would probably set up some kind of like a retainer, like $2,000 a month or $2,500 a month. So I could only work with like 4 or 5 clients a month and hit my 6-figure mark. And I would fill their social calendars with short form video content.
Okay, so you'd be making short form video content for their socials, I'm assuming? Like it's for their socials.
Yeah, it'd be to drive. I'd be targeting people, I think, that are underutilizing the power of video and underutilizing the power in the reach that short form video gets you right now.
Okay. And so who would be these people? Who would be, like, is this just like, oh, like a wedding photographer? Is this like, oh, would you be doing it for a brand? Like, who are you doing these for?
I wouldn't go for brands. I would go for service-based professionals who have high ticket like prices on their stuff. So I would probably go, okay, if I can get one person, one new client, does it cover the entire fee of what it costs to have me doing this for them each month? So I think about like high ticket services like lawyers, like dentists, accountants, people who sell some kind of like online like training program, like a fitness pro or a nutrition coach. I'd be looking for like professionals in their field, people that are in the top of their field, yet
Smart.
they don't currently have any online presence, or they have an online presence, but they're definitely not maximizing it.
Okay.
And I would be jumping into that to fill the gap of like, hey, here's where you guys are. You guys are selling high ticket services, which means if I can get you a couple leads and even 1 or 2 of those close each month, I'm making you 2 to 3x probably what you're paying me right off the bat. So I would probably try and quantify things that way. So I would target, like service-based professionals who have high ticket prices on their stuff.
Okay. And if you were to be going to these people, a lot of these people...
Real estate agents. That's what I forgot to say, too. Real estate agents would be a great one.
Well, let me first ask you this question. It's kind of out of left field, but I think a lot of people might be thinking this. They go, oh, wow, that's a really good idea. But like, oh, do I really want to be doing that with my time? Like, you are an outdoors person. Like, you've come from the outdoor brand industry. You've worked with some incredible brands, all that kind of stuff.
That's where I built my business.
Yeah, that's where you built your business. But now you're saying you wouldn't actually do that. You would go with an entirely new style of business. And that's not in like the fancy, sexy outdoor brand space, all that kind of stuff. Why would you choose to do that instead of maybe what you've done before?
Because he told me I had to make 6 figures as quick as possible. So I'm like, follow the money. I'm like, there's obviously money in brand photography. There's obviously money in all that. But if my goal here is what you're asking me is to build a 6-figure creative business that allows me to do what I love, which is solving problems for people creatively, this would be a great model to pick, because not only is it gonna make me quick money, but it's also not that time consuming. Like if I had 4 clients at $2,500 a month and I was shooting 17 to 25 short form social videos for them a month to fill their entire content calendar, and that allowed them to get a ton of reach, book new sales calls, and get new leads for their law office or their accounting firm or whatever it was going to be, their real estate, office. If I could do that, I'd probably only be working like a week to a week and a half a month, which means I have all my other time to go do whatever I want, and I'm making like $8,000 to like $9,000 a month, which is 6 figures.
Totally. So okay, I love that. I love it.
Yeah, so, like if you were to ask me like, oh, you've got a year and a half or 2 years to build a 6-figure business and you have to do exactly what you love, then I would say, oh yeah, then it might be like, I want to work with big outdoors brands, which again, that's what I do. But if I was restarting from zero, that's great and that's advantageous. But the reality is, for most people, that's a slow build. Yeah. Because it's such a gated industry, meaning like the people who are known, not necessarily like the people who have the big followings, the people who are known inside the boardroom, relationally known, are the people that get all the gigs, right? Because brands want to work with people they know, like, and trust. So, once you build that foundation, you get into those meetings, you get known in those rooms, then it's easy to build a really good business off of it. But it takes longer to build than like a recurring like service-based model like I was just talking about, that I think would scale way quicker. And I think there's more opportunity there too, because it's where everything's moving. Right? Okay.
So would you, when you're looking for these industry professionals, fitness coaches, real estate agents, law offices, whatever it is, are you looking for people who are already established online, people who have no establishment online? Like, where would you, anybody, like, or would you kind of like pair them off in a certain way? Like who you would approach first?
Yeah. So I would probably target everybody. I would target the people who are already established because you never know what's behind an established account. You don't know if they are drowning to make it look as good as it's looking.
Yeah.
They're drowning to keep up with the consistency, and your message saying, "Hey, love what you guys are doing." I'm obviously assuming it's helping you guys drive growth, or else you wouldn't be doing it. I also, however, know that it's really hard to keep up with, and the consistency side of it's hard. If you do not have a really good content partner already, I'm sure it feels like you're drowning. Would love to jump on a call if you are drowning and chat about how I can help you keep your head above water.
Cool.
That's a really good pitch to a brand or a service-based professional who's already doing this really well. But of course, then you also have to target the people who are not doing it well.
Yeah, and
now,
how would you pitch those people? Because if they're not utilizing it at all, right? How do you convince them that it's important?
Yeah, so they're not utilizing it because they've convinced themselves they don't have the time for it. But most importantly, they've convinced themselves it's not valuable enough. If you don't have any time, but you know something's incredibly valuable, you find a way to make it happen. If they're not doing it, it probably means they're just not convinced that it's going to help them with their business enough. So I would then have to just go full education mode, and all of my marketing would have to be direct to them, speaking to them about, hey, like if you are a service-based professional, a dental office, a lawyer, an accountant, a real estate agent, a fitness pro, a nutrition coach, whatever it's going to be, let me show you how you could probably 2 to 5, 10x your reach, which is hopefully going to convert to like 20 to 30% more leads each month. Therefore, you're ideally, growing your revenue by 10 to 35% each month. I would have to go full blast on the education side of that because, again, there's no point in selling them like, hey, here's my offer, hire me to do this, if they're not fully convicted on like why not doing it is going to have them miss out.
Gotcha.
Right? So
yeah.
I would have to make a new brand, I would have to make a new website, and I would have to make a social account for it. And all I would do is sit in front of a camera and talk about the opportunity there is right now with short form video and the organic reach that it's getting people. I would talk about the common like negative misconceptions that people have about how how much energy or how much time or how much strategy, how much knowledge it takes to produce that. And I would then insert myself and be like, here's how I can shortcut all that for you. And I can do that for you. So you can still be getting this desired result of the massive reach. And then I would also then challenge them and probably say like, if you're not doing this, that's okay. But think about the future. Like think about the next 5 years. Think about the marketing you're currently doing. Do you think it is sustainable as the world so quickly shifts to digital?
Yeah.
Like you need to be shifting with it, and I am a great vessel to help you do that really well.
Gotcha.
So I would just have to make all my marketing about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how quickly do you think you could build out a website, social,
oh gosh,
all of that? How quickly do you think you could get that up and running to at least have a front-facing brand?
Yeah, so I would start with, my favorite way to build out a brand is starting with the narrative messaging. So like before you get onto a website and you start messing around and wasting so much time because you don't actually have a plan for the website, you're just on there like building different sections and like having fun. And then 4, 5, 6, 7 days goes by, 2 weeks goes by, and you're like, wait, I actually haven't even published this thing. Well, it's because you didn't have a plan for it. So I would build a plan, but the plan always starts with like the narrative side of a brand. So like, what is the brand story? What are you against? What are you trying to solve? What problem specifically are you solving? Who's your ideal client? Who are you talking to, right? I would figure out all that stuff. I would figure out like the plan of action. So like here's the like 3-step plan to take you from where you are to where you're going to want to go. I would figure out how to like, obviously make sure that I can narratively explain that and make sure it's all clear so that I can take a client from like point A to point Z really easily. And then I would then build a visual side of that. Sure, build a quick logo. That would take like 20 minutes, 10 minutes. And then I would probably build a website because I have the knowledge I know the sections of a website. Like we teach it in our Portfolio Profit course, right? There's 7 sections to a great website. I could probably build a website with that framework in, I don't know, like an hour and a half.
So you could be all set up in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
We both agree on that. Other people are like, I need 3 weeks for my website, and we're like,
I want to finish my website.
Gosh.
That's a goal of mine. I'm like, great. Like, are you gonna get it done within like a day and a half? They're like, no, I need like 2 weeks. I'm like, for what?
For what?
For what?
Yeah.
Because guys, your website just needs to be like a simple 1-pager. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't need to be like so complex. It can be literally 1 page with the right messaging on it that drives a sale, right?
So your business would be pretty slim is what it sounds like.
Super slim.
Like in
Really
how you
simple.
operate it, what you need for it. Like literally just list off for me really quick, like, here are the assets that I need in order to land a client. Like, what do you feel like the prep list? Like, if someone's sitting here going, I actually really like that idea. Like, okay, what do I literally need before I pitch a client?
Just balls. You don't need anything else, to be honest. Like,
Or uterus. Those are strong too.
I've pitched new services before where I've never even done it. I don't have anything on my website about it. I didn't have a brand about it. I just got into a conversation with somebody and went, hey, I think I can solve that problem. Pitch them on how I can solve it for them and put a price on it, and walked out the door going, oh shoot, now I got to go learn how to do that. But in a good way, like not like a imposter syndrome, like I shouldn't have done that. Like, oh no, I will be able to solve this. I just have to figure out, how to solve it. So you don't actually need a brand or any marketing if you are super confident and you know how to put yourself in certain circles and conversations where you'll be able to bring value up and then close on that value. But in order to get started, for most people that would be thinking they need some more stuff, just like throw together a quick social account. You probably need like 5 to 7 videos, shoot them in half a day, edit them the other half of the day, post them online. That takes one day, and those are like educational videos like I talked about earlier, like educating your client on why they're missing out if they do not do whatever you are helping them do. The website, build it in a day. The narrative messaging is the most important part. That probably would take you like half a day. Call a few friends, say, hey, does this make sense? Like, do the problems I'm solving make sense? Does the way I'm trying to solve it make sense? Does the hook at the top of my website make sense? Like 2 days, you could be up fully running and like ready to start acquiring clients.
Wow. That's awesome. I like this business. This is great. When are we starting it?
I know, like we should do it. I know.
Okay, so that's awesome. So lay out the numbers really quickly. So how many people do you need at what price to hit 6 figures? Lay it out again for us.
Yeah. So I would need 4 clients at $2,500, and that would make me obviously $10,000 a month if I have 4 clients at $2,500. So if I could do that, which I think would be pretty easy. Like you think about the average. We don't live in that big of a city at all, but like you think about all the professional services around here, the accountants, the lawyers, the like everything, like the dental offices, whatever it's going to be, different types of doctor, whatever, right? Chiropractors. Chiropractors actually is a really great niche to do this in, probably. There's so many people like that all over. So don't listen to this podcast go, well, I don't know if I'm going to do this. I don't live in a big city. Like, guys, I built a 6-figure business in a town that had less than 5,000 people. Like that's where I grew up. And most of my clients were actually American. Like I just found a way to do it where they'd send me things and I would do stuff, and it would just, the trade was going over the border. Right. So it's so possible to do it. So I would do 4 clients. So if I had to hit 6 figures, fully restart, it would be 4 clients at $2,500 per month on retainer. And I would be giving them probably 15 to 25 short form videos a month. So I would meet up with them for like 2 hours. I would have everything streamlined so they can just get there. We can script content real quick. We can go bang, 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 finish all the content. I can go home, edit it. I would then have a system to deliver it and or help them post it. That would be an upsell. I'd make more money if I managed their social for them as well.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I also was just thinking about another upsell. Once they're getting all this traffic, I would probably then upsell them on some type of lead magnet. So a lead magnet is, something that's going to pull somebody off Instagram, take them to the website, have them give their information to whoever owns the website in exchange for something. So like, hey, like let's use a chiropractor as an example. I would be like, if the chiropractor is doing all these educational videos talking about, like how to take care of your body and stuff, which is just branding and it's marketing for their own chiropractor office.
Yeah.
I would then create some kind of like quiz, like probably some kind of like opt-in free quiz that you can make on Typeform or something like that. It would be like, put in your age, put in your athletic ability, put in your previous injuries, put in your like flexibility level, and put in your like daily movement level. And then I think I would have it algorithmically spit out some kind of a like, oh, here's what our chiropractic office recommends you do in terms of stretches and stuff every single day in order to take care of your body. And so what they'd have to do is I would pull people from Instagram, from this like chiropractic account, go to the chiropractor's website. People would have to give them their information. They'd get free access to this quiz. And then we would just retarget those people via email marketing.
Wow.
And again, but I would probably sell something like that, like a lead magnet. That would be like a $5,000 like one-off like upsell that I'd be like, hey, I'll build this whole system for you, the whole funnel, the whole landing page, the lead magnet, everything, and I'll build you a strategy to launch it on social. And then I'd probably write their email sequence for it too. So it could go from like, this could go from like a $8,000 to $10,000 business a month to, if I got two of those, like, let's say I got like one of those a month with a new client that kept signing on. I mean, that could be an extra 50, 60 grand a year. So that could be a $150,000 business right there.
Dang, it scales so fast. And I feel like people are probably sitting here going like, oh my gosh, that's only 4 clients, like 5 clients. Like that, I can do that, right?
Yeah.
What about, last question, maybe someone who is out in the middle of nowhere, someone who is like, like I really am not near a lot of people that are like that, or I'm moving around a ton, I live in a van, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
What would you say the solution for this type of business would be? Somebody, if they can't actually go in person to film, they can't actually go and show up at the office, whatever it means, or they have some like physical incapabilities. What would the solution be for that?
Literally show your client how to set up a super easy camera setup anywhere in their office with one light or 2 lights or whatever to make it look good. Super easy. Like it can even be an iPhone. And get on riverside.fm, which is like a live podcasting platform basically, where you're like, it's kind of like Zoom, but it's made for podcasting. It's way better. Literally jump on with your client. Hey, chiropractor, we're going to do 30 minutes. I'm going to be here in my van in the middle of Wyoming. You're in New York. And chiropractor, I'm just going to sit here and ask you 30 different prompts that I've pre-prepared. And you just answer them, and I'll turn it all into short form video content. So you could easily direct that virtually too, through like an app like Riverside, which is like $5 a month. So you don't have to be in person with people. You could easily do this from all over the world.
You could just stay in your van all you want and make a 6-figure business.
You live in your van, yeah.
Wow.
Guys, there's always a way, right? Like there's always a way. Yeah, there's always a way to do that. And to be honest, if I was living in a van, traveling around, I would probably somehow leverage that and like probably try and work with some kind of product-based company where they would just want to send me products and I would just travel with the products and shoot them, which is how I built my 6-figure business myself, like my actual business,
right?
Not this fake business, but not living in a van, but traveling around doing the same thing. So
this fake 6-figure business now feels very realistic though.
I hope someone rips this off. I hope someone takes this and goes,
absolutely.
I'm ripping this off, and I hope in a year from now, someone's like, yo, I actually made 6 figures from that exact idea, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Okay, what's your final advice to that person? What's your final advice to that person who's like, maybe I will actually take this and run with this?
Do it. Like, just do it. You have nothing to lose. Like, figure out how short form video works. Figure out a good strategy for it, which is not hard. Like, it takes maybe 15 minutes of Googling, 15 minutes of just swiping through TikTok, looking at videos that are performing well, analyzing them. Like, what are they saying? What did they say in the first 4 seconds of the hook that made it hooky? You know, like, figure all that stuff out. Make it happen. All marketing is, guys, is getting in front of people. So you don't have to come up with some crazy marketing plan. Just get in front of people. Marketing's 3 steps. Number 1, you have to pique somebody's curiosity. Okay. Number 2, you got to educate them on it. And then you have to ask them for a sale. So if you need more clients, you need to just go get in front of people, make them curious about something, about what their future could potentially look like, educate them on how they can do that, and then invite them to have you do it for them. Like, that's all marketing is. So it's not difficult. I seriously think that anybody could rip this idea off and be making 6 figures within like 6 to 8 months.
All right. Well, somebody go and rip it off.
Rip it off.
And then send us a DM that you're ripping it off, because we want to support you. And you just got your business plan right there in the last probably like 20 minutes. So
I had no idea the questions you were going to ask me, but that was really fun. I had fun with that. I hope. Good job asking questions.
Yeah, your bum must not be very warm, because that hot seat apparently did not hurt you very much, because you did very well.
Well, and if you're sitting here thinking like, oh, that had to be pre-planned, like, Joey, there's no way you could have answered stuff like that quick. We actually had somebody say something like that on the mastermind, on one of our mastermind group calls the other day. They're like, how do you come up with stuff so quick? Like, they put me on the spot with a question and I answered it. And it's not that I'm some crazy, amazing, I've just done this stuff, guys. I've built the muscle it's a muscle to go, okay, how do I make money from something? Well, I have to identify a need, give a solution, and then just scale that, right? That's all it is. If you want to grow a business, you have to meet more people with needs and give them more solutions, right?
Yeah.
So it's not difficult. So seriously, hear us out on this podcast. Try it. Take what you learned from this podcast, maybe like a few different nuggets, and maybe implement it into what you're already doing, and or start something completely new. But let us know if you want more podcasts that are kind of formatted this way, where
Or
like
Q&A
one of us
style.
just asks each other like, hey, what would you do if you were building this? Because I think I hope that was a pretty cool way to like get inside of my thought process on that. I hope that was
Yeah.
helpful. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And someone go take that idea. That's the most important part. Go take these problem solving ideas and implement it into your business and start thinking even with your own client base, with your own people, with your own audience, and going, what are the needs and how can I fulfill those to build a 6-figure business? And we will be cheering you on as you do it. So thank you guys so much for listening in, tuning in on this podcast. If you love this podcast, if you want to support us, a great way to support the show is by going and giving us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. It's the main way that the show grows, is through those types of reviews. We love hearing your guys' feedback. Feel free to DM us any questions you have around creative business. We are always happy to answer people's questions.
If you want to go the extra mile, screenshot this, post it on your Instagram story, and tag us so we can see it and we can thank you.
Yes.
Because that is a great way to share it with your community and with your friends and say, hey, you should also probably listen to this. So
yeah,
we'd love that. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
See ya.